Can the orange and blue take a stranglehold of the series on the back of Steu Skinner? We'll find out as we get you set for Game 3 between the Oilers and the Golden Knights right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the pregame show here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas with you. I'm live on location in my little nook here at the Canadian Icehouse. It is packed in here. People are pumped up. Beautiful day and a lot of anticipation for what should be another fantastic matchup between the Oilers and the Golden Knights. You can text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And of course, tell your friends. We appreciate that very, very much. And I should mention, too, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. We're going to be joined by Ken Boehlke from SinBin Vegas in a few minutes. We're going to hear from Matt Kassian on Game Changers. And then Shawn, Belle should be stopping by, as well as Reid, Wilkins here at the Icehouse. Nancito, how are we doing today? I saw your cousin Eddie. He was in fine form. He was very, very excited.
He's always in fine form, cousin Eddie. So I think he's, yes. I don't know if he's going to the game or just the moss pit, but.
No, he said he's going.
Oh, he's going to the game? Oh, okay,
he's
cool.
going to the game. Yeah.
And you know what? For Oiler fans that'd like to hear this, he's pretty good luck when he's in attendance. So
is he really?
They rarely lose when he's there. So he's a bit of a good luck charm. So that's one positive heading to tonight already.
Yeah, well, he's a good dude too. He is. I think he might have said too that the Latino heat actually comes from him, and he passed it on to you. I think he made a comment of that sort.
Oh. Sure.
Like he's the real Latino, like, well, that's okay. Same bloodlines, like good bloodlines, right?
Exactly.
All right. We'll get to starting lineups. We'll get to some of your texts. We will also go inside the Oilers locker room. Like I said off the top, Steu Skinner will be between the pipes for the Edmonton Oilers, and Calvin Pickard listed as day-to-day. Nancito, when you saw that news earlier, we were live for Hello Hockey when that news broke from Rogers Place. Yeah. And I kind of wondered, too, when we saw Skinner in Vegas, or not Skinner, Pickard in Vegas, kind of laboring a little bit, favoring his leg when he had a hurdle fall on him. I thought he would be okay, but that's not the case. He's day-to-day. What do you think of that?
Yeah, having some eggs, listening to you guys, and I saw the media that was down there kind of saying, well, he's not on the ice, but, and then they kept adding to it, well, it's weird for a starter to miss 2 days. And then shortly after that, it was all good. It was Stuart Skinner was starting, and then just reading the comments, Tommy, on the X machine on your guys' show. Man, oh man, I listen, and I look to a certain extent. I get it. He hasn't been at his best. It's notable. We all know that, but on the surface, what we know about Stuart Skinner, he always bounces back when he's gone through this kind of situation, right? He has.
That's true. That is true.
Usually after a loss or something like that, he's pretty good. He's a guy that's been there, done that. He rolled through Game 7, the Vancouver series. He came back and won Game 6 and 7. He was good in Dallas series, especially Game 6. He was a part of the comeback in the final series as well. So on the surface, those are all positives. But Tom, what he needs to do, because let's be honest, if he lets 3-4 goals in, sure, but the Oilers are going to score. Just don't let that next one. And that's the difference right now between him and Calvin Pickard. Pickard's giving you that save when you need it in important moments, and Skinner hasn't done that. So I understand why people are nervous with Stuart Skinner, but let's have a little faith. This guy's been there, done that, and we'll see what happens tonight. And I don't buy into that the team plays different in front of him or don't have faith in him. That doesn't happen.
Agreed. 100% agreed. I don't think that they play better in front of Pickard more so than Skinner. I don't buy into it whatsoever at all. All right. Do you have a question of the night that you want to fire out there before I get into starting lineups?
It's pretty simple. It's regarding Stuart Skinner, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. What's the level of confidence right now in Stuart Skinner getting the nod in Game 3? Because It's interesting. Pickard finished that game, but Tom, after the adrenaline rubbed off and they got on the plane back home, like obviously something wasn't right. He didn't look right after Hurdle fell on him. So Stuart Skinner, I saw a tweet today from Eastern media which was pretty funny. He goes,
"Oh, they know everything.
Those poor Oilers, they're going to their number one goal." So I thought that was pretty
good.
Funny. Yeah, that's
good.
really good. So I was like,
I appreciate that one.
Yeah. So on a level of 1 to 10, 10 being the most confident, what's your confidence level with Stuart Skinner starting this game?
You know what? I'll go with a 7. I'll go back to what he did last year. I'll go back to, at times this year, he had some good moments.
Yeah.
Listen, he didn't have a great season. The numbers speak to that, obviously. The averages, the below 900 save percentage. He ended up in the high 2s by the end of the regular season when it came to his goals against average. He's got a 6.11 GAA right now, but I mean, the Oilers in those first 2 games against LA were not good defensively whatsoever. They cleaned it up. They got some guys back, and Calvin Pickard did make some saves when they needed them, especially last game in overtime. There was that sequence where he made a couple of saves. I think one of them was on Hurdle. Actually, a couple of them Hurdle. I think he got one on Olofsson shortly after that. So I'll still go with a 7, and like the Eastern media reported, oh no, look at the Oilers. They have to go to their number 1 for this game tonight. So good question of the night, Hernan. What confidence level do you have from 1 to 10 in Steu Skinner, who will start in goal for the Oilers tonight? Let us know, 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube as well. All right, we're going to get to starting lineups, and then we're going to go inside the Oilers locker room, and then when we come back from that, Ken Boehlke from SinBin Vegas will be joining us. Starting lineups, as always, brought to you by South Fort Chev. Buy now and save. 0% financing, OAC up to 72 months, or save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. And if you still haven't gotten your tires swapped from your winters to your all seasons, they'll do that for you. If you mention EST sent you for $59.95 plus tax, they're also doing discounts on inspections when you get your tires changed. See dealer for details, www.southfortchev.com. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. For the Oilers tonight, no changes to the skaters. That means McDavid with Draisaitl and Perry, Nugent Hopkins with Kane and Hyman, Henrique between Frederick and Brown. Frederick no worse for wear after that Nick Waugh cross-check. I'm sure we'll talk about that with Ken right away here. Janmark centering Podkolzin and Arvidsson. On defense, you've got Nurse paired up with Bouchard, Wallman with Klingberg, Kulak with Emberson. No Jeff Skinner, no Kasperi Kapanen, no Max Jones, no Derek Ryan, no Troy Stetcher, etc., etc., etc. A bunch of black aces are here as well. As for the Golden Knights, Ken actually tweeted this out earlier in the day from Rogers Place. Jack Eichel between Ivan Barbashev and Mark Stone. Tomas Hertl with Pavel Dorofeev. I know it said game time decision, but I'm pretty sure he's going to play. Then Victor Olofsson on the other side. William Karlsson between Brett Howden and Riley Smith. Then you got Nicholas Waugh with Tanner Pearson and Keegan Colasar. On defense, Shea Theodore with Alex Pietrangelo. Noah Hannafin with Zach Whitecloud. Nick Hague with Caden Korzak. No Ben Hutton, no Cole Schwint, among some others. Let's get to your starting goalies for tonight. Like we mentioned, Steu Skinner, the 26-year-old, 0-2 this postseason with a 6.11 goals against average and an 8.10 save percentage in the 2 games he's played in the Cup playoffs or Stanley Cup playoffs. And then lifetime versus the Golden Knights in the postseason. Skinner, a 2-4 record, 397 GAA, 875 save percentage in those 6 games against Vegas in 2023. At the other end of the rink, no surprise, 28-year-old Adin Hill, 4-4 with a 316 GAA and 874 save percentage in 8 games in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. Hill versus the Oilers in the postseason, lifetime 3-3 record, 284 goals against average, 910 save percentage in 7 appearances versus the Oil. That takes us to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy Injury Report. Hey, Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. So get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sports Medicine. Book your assessment today at www.advantagesportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. For the Oilers, Matthias Ekholm, lower body, leg injury. Do not expect him to play in this round. People keep asking. They were texting us today on Hello Hockey. Don't expect him in this second round series. And then Alec Regula, who just re-signed with the orange and blue IR knee all season long. As for the Golden Knights, couple of updates here. Brandon Saad, day-to-day, lower body. Braden McNabb, after that play with Victor Arvidsson going hard into the wall. That can opener that was not called. He is day-to-day, obviously, upper body there. So there are your starting lineups. There is your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. Let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. Neil with an A sending in a picture from his beautiful patio with the TV out there, dog walking in the background, and he's got a 6 o'clocker lager cracked with the frosty mug. He says, my first 6 o'clocker of the night. Let's go, Oilers. I love it. I love it. Not so Daily Doug says Stu will get I'm not going to say it tonight, maybe just a victory. I'm not going to say the word that Not So Daily Doug sent in. I know Daily Doug. He's a great guy. What else do we have? Huntorio Mom says, like the Phillies and Turner, Edmonton needs to get behind Skinner instead of throwing more bricks for him to hold. Get the Skinner chance going early. Toxic positivity, people. Do the opposite of what's been losing. There you go, Huntorio Momes with his thoughts. Nanso, take us into Steu Skinner here.
All right, here's your starting goalie for Game 3.
You're starting tonight or not?
I've been told that I'm playing tonight. Yeah.
So maybe just a thought on this. You've got an opportunity to work on some things, and Al's obviously done a good job. How do you feel about this?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, not the situation that we probably want to be in. But I mean, that's playoffs. You need 2 goalies to normally go all the way. So yeah, I'm excited to go back to the net. I've had some time to, work on some things, and I'm ready to go.
You stepped into these things. You did it last year. You're a veteran enough goalie. What's going through your head stepping into this situation?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, I've been here before, so nothing's that new to me. It's an opportunity again for me to go into the net and do my job and just give these guys a chance to win. That's all I can do. So just going out there, playing my game. I know the building's going to be loud, so I'm really excited to go back in there.
Longer stretch out than usual. Can there be any rust?
Let's hope not. No, I mean, again, I've been getting a lot of work in with Schwarty, a lot of practice time, so I feel really good. It wasn't just like a couple of practices and you're right back in there. So I've had some time to, feel really good about my game.
Stu, was there a recalibration or a reset period in between starts here for you?
I mean, I've had a lot of time, right? So, for sure, I've been able to watch Cal do some amazing things out there, watching our team, play really well down the stretch here. It's really hard winning 6 games in a row, so it's an amazing job by the team here. So I'm just, I'm happy to go back in there and just do my best.
I imagine it's a skill for a goaltender to just always be ready, always be ready to be the starter on any given day. Things can change fast. How hard is that?
Yeah, you have no idea. I mean, a guy can get sick at 1 a.m. and then the next morning you're in there, right? So there's definitely an art to it, to being a goalie, to being a backup goalie. So I think being able to always be ready, always stay sharp. I mean, that's why practice time's so important. Preparing the same way, even though that you're not playing. I mean, all those little things are very, very important. So that's what I've been doing, and again, tough situation, but gives me an opportunity.
All right, there is your starter for game number 3 between the Oilers and the Golden Knights, Stuart Skinner, who hasn't played since game 2 against the Los Angeles Kings, as Ken Boehlke joins us now from SinBin Vegas. Ken, welcome to Edmonton. I know you were hanging out here at Icehouse yesterday.
Love it.
How has your experience been?
It's great.
Yeah?
It's nice.
It is a nice place.
I'm so happy it's not cold. My hotel's right down the street. I walk down this whole thing right out in front's great.
Yeah, the plaza, the district.
This is excellent.
What's it called in Vegas? It's the Toshiba Plaza. We've got Ice District Plaza. They call it the Moss Pit in honor of Joey Moss.
I like it. We don't have the pregame quite like this during the games, right? It's crazy, and then everyone files in. Not a lot of people come down there until it's cup final.
Right.
You guys are doing this for round 2, game 3. Everyone.
It isn't. Yeah, this is kind of special for the playoffs. In the regular season, when it's cold, there's a skating rink out there.
That makes sense.
And it's not as busy, but here at Icehouse, it's always busy on game day. The rooftop patio is fantastic, and It's a good time. We're glad you're here.
I have one complaint about this place.
Please.
Over there's a Conn Smythe trophy.
Yep.
I looked. Jonathan Marchessault's name is not on it. What are we doing?
Well, this place, I think the year the Golden Knights won the Cup was the year Icehouse opened here. And so the Vezina, the Art Ross, the Conn Smythe, I don't think they're really updating the little plaques.
Well, can we?
I mean, I can ask. I mean,
Connor's name could be on there.
Well, then they'll definitely update it.
That's what I'm saying. So, like the Vezina, let's get Fleury's name on there. But I was disappointed. I would like to see Jonathan Marchessault's name.
I respect that.
Yeah, so that's my only complaint. The steak bites are unreal.
They were great.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, they are tremendous. Ken Boehlke from SinBin Vegas helping us tee up game number 3 between the Oilers and the Golden Knights. All right, let's start with this, Ken. What did you think of game 2 and how things played out? Because honestly, I thought Vegas was going to pull that one out the way they were playing.
It's a tough one for the Golden Knights. They did almost all the things you have to do to beat the Oilers. Yep. The number one thing is, can you slow down Draisaitl and McDavid? And they pulled apart their mega line to stop them. They decided, let's go more with William Karlsson.
Yep.
And it worked. They were doing it. Stone and Eichel were doing their thing away from Draisaitl and McDavid. Like, it was looking good. And then 2 soft goals. I had you on my show before, and I remember telling you if Vasily Podkolzin scores, the Golden Knights are in trouble. And then it happened. I'm like, oh, no, Tom. This is not good. Great job to come back. Great job on the penalty kill. Their special team has been excellent. Like, a lot of things went right, and you look back at that game, and, like, there's one of 2 ways it's going to go. Yeah. Either that's the game that we're going to say that's why they didn't win the series. It was a close enough series. That's the reason they didn't. Or that's going to be kind of the kicking off point of saying, oh, look, they can do it, and now they can start playing moving forward. But it's going to be tough. Winning 4 out of 5 against this team is very, very difficult.
I will say this about the Oilers. They do seem to be finding a bit of a groove, but they do cough up the lead to everybody. They've been doing that to Vegas in this series. They have an NHL record, 6 straight come-from-behind victories in the Stanley Cup Final. That's playing with fire, in my opinion, so we'll see if Edmonton can switch that up. In your opinion, when we look at the goaltenders, I mean, Steu Skinner's going. We heard from Steu. He'll get the nod tonight because Calvin Pickard is day-to-day, former Golden Knight. I love that story with the mask. I had to relay it the next day on our station. But how has Adin Hill performed, in your opinion, thus far?
Hit or miss. He has not been the dominant force that he was 2 years ago. And even last year against Dallas, he was excellent after he came in Game 5. He really hasn't been that. He's allowed a couple soft goals. He's not as dominant right when the puck's right in front of him. If they're losing those battles, they're in. He used to stop those. And so that's where it's a little bit concerning of what it's going to look like if he's not on top of his game. And in this series, especially now as we switch up to here, McDavid and Draisaitl are going to get more free ice. They're going to get more opportunities with the last change going up here. So he's got to be better. Like, if they're going to win this series, you got to win 4 out of 5. He has to be quite a bit better. I thought the Golden Knights had a fairly significant goaltender advantage. Hasn't shown up.
We'll see how it goes tonight. Hill, no stranger to this part of the world, living in Calgary. And then I actually said before, when he was still in Arizona, I'm like, you know what, Adin Hill might be the right guy to go out and get. Now he's got a long-term contract with the Golden Knights, looking to pick up his game. Ken Boehlke joining us from SinBin Vegas as we get you set for tonight's action. You can text us 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. All right, couple of lineup tweaks for the Knights tonight. Dorfiev, 35 goal scorer this season, back in. That's got to be a good thing. Or game time decision, pardon me.
Here's the thing. It's weird.
Yeah.
No other team in the league can their leading goal scorer go out, and you're like, that's okay, we have Victor Olofsson.
Right.
But this team, that's kind of the case.
Right.
That's kind of the case. So, like, he goes back in, yes, but Saad comes back out, and Saad coming out, that's a lot of speed that they're losing, and that's one of the things I think they're getting killed in this series in, is they're just not fast enough. Pavel is not a fast skater. Pavel does not move, really, at all. And now we think he's coming off some sort of, like, hamstring or lower body or skating-related injury.
Yep.
He might move even worse. The thing about Pavel, though, is if he gets the puck in the offensive zone, I don't care if Skinner's in the net, Bobrovsky, whoever, Vasilevsky, if he gets a clean look, it's dangerous every single time. So that's a big part of it. And he's not going back in the top power play, which is where he scored almost half of those 35 goals.
Well, power play clicked for the Golden Knights the other night. Edmonton's PK has been pretty damn bad all playoffs long. Very up and down during the regular season. On the Golden Knights back end, I will ask this, though. Brayden McNabb, after the can opener that wasn't called from Victor Arvidsson, we'll talk about that as well. He's coming out. Caden Korczak stays in. How much of a loss is McNabb?
A lot. Yeah. It's arguably the most important defenseman that they could have lost. Just because of the fact that they need to have a lockdown defenseman in the group to slow down McDavid and Draisaitl. They're going to have those opportunities. And when you have him with Theodore, you're probably going to avoid that. So now it's like, all right, well, we got Pietrangelo and either Haig or Hanifin. That's okay. Golden Knights can live with that. Now, there's really not a pair that you feel comfortable against, McDavid and Draisaitl. It's terrifying. They don't have an answer for them. Yeah. And now they don't even have last change. So now it's really, really concerning. Of all the players, obviously losing Jack Eichel would have been the biggest.
Yes.
William Karlsson would have been second behind him. Brayden McNabb was third. That's a massive, massive loss. And if they overcome this, it will be incredible because they are not a consistent defensive team despite the numbers. They turn the puck over a lot. He's the guy who didn't. He's the guy who was the plus 40 or whatever he was in the regular season. They need him. And him being out, Caden Korczak does not replace him.
I'll tell you, I admire the job Korczak has done.
He's decent.
Yeah. But I look at the Golden Knights on paper, and we talked about it on Saturday when we were doing it on your show. Like, on paper, I like the D of the Golden Knights, but, you know, you went into some of the minutia of it and why maybe it's not as formidable of a blue line as we think on the outside looking in.
What used to be, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago, every single time McDavid and Draisaitl jumped over the boards, it was Brayden McNabb or Alec Martinez.
Right.
Good luck getting a shot through. It's nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Now, they're both gone. Now, Martinez, his game fell off. McNabb, it hurts losing him. I still think you're still going to get Petrangelo's out there, Hanifin's out there. You're still going to be okay. It's not like they have a terrible defense all of a sudden.
No.
But they're puck movers. They're skaters. They're guys that need help back there. They don't really have it. McNabb's the one guy that was that rock that was like, we're good. McNabb's out there. We're good.
Right.
They don't have it anymore. And Theodore has to switch sides because of it, which mutes Theodore's offense a bit.
Good point. I did notice that when you tweeted out the lines. Okay, the play that took McNabb out. How was the reaction in Vegas with Golden Knights fans? What did you think of it? And what do you make of the lack of discipline on both sides? Nothing for Waugh, nothing for Arvidsson. Yeah. Give us your thoughts.
So I know everyone hates me for this, but I actually think Nick Waugh was trying to cross-check the puck. I do.
But he happened to catch Trent Frederick's face in the action.
He missed and then hit Trent Frederick's face.
Did he
now,
ever?
Granted, it would have been a high stick.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the heck he's doing, but I do think he was. In morning skate today, they were out there. They were still zamming, so there was a little corner where it was already zammed.
Yep.
A bunch of the forwards were flipping the puck in the air and trying to cross-check it out of the air.
Really?
They truly believe that's what happened. If you see the puck, it does bounce up. So to me, was it a dumb play? Absolutely. Was it a 5-minute major? Absolutely. Does he deserve supplemental discipline for it? For being dumb? I don't know. I don't think so. The other one, Arvidsson, clearly a can opener. It's brutal. It's a brutal play. Do I think Arvidsson did it on purpose? I don't. I really don't. I think he comes in there. He's a little guy up underneath there, little guy, big guy going up against him. He's got to do something. Yeah. I don't think it was like malicious or anything. It's a bad play. Should have been a penalty.
Yes.
Golden Knights should have been on the power play. Probably win the game.
Yep.
So it hurts a lot. I'm not asking for a suspension for Victor Arvidsson.
And when it comes to Waugh, the $7,580 or $7,850 and
50 cents.
And 50 cents. I did make sure to get the cents in there as well. So
that's key.
Yeah, that's a night at Wet Republic, isn't it?
I think that's like one bottle at Wet Republic, probably, right? They get all the fireworks.
The streamers go.
No, I don't go to Wet Republic. Everyone knows this. I don't.
You're more of a Dries guy, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm probably more of like a nice, calm sports bar.
Oh, okay. I have a question for you before we take a look at the game in general tonight. A a lot of Oilers fans travel well, and they love going to Vegas. They really do. What is a sneaky good spot on the Strip outside of, because I know Icehouse right outside the arena is a very popular beer house. Pardon me.
Is Icehouse.
We're at Icehouse. Thank you.
Got it.
What is a sneaky good spot for Oilers fans when they make the trek if there's a Game 5?
So I like the roast beef place right at the end there. Everybody likes to go to Shake Shack, and then there's
I love Shake Shack.
Tom's Urban or whatever that place is called, right around the corner.
Yeah. I like that place too.
There's a roast beef place, and its name is escaping me.
That's okay.
Good. They don't pay me.
Oh, well, then.
If you want the one that pays me, it's down the Strip a little bit. Go to Giordano's. The pizza's phenomenal.
Giordano's.
So go there. However,
Yes.
that's a little bit of a hike. But the roast beef place is excellent.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Not terribly expensive for Vegas.
Yep.
It would be expensive for people coming down from up here.
Especially the exchange rate, Ken.
Well, I can't help that. Can we do something about the airline tickets?
Oh, my goodness.
My goodness.
We used to have a bunch of directs that would go there daily.
Oh, my goodness. I know. I miss Swoop Airlines. I love Swoop
not a lot of people
Airlines.
say that, or Flair either.
I was on Flair.
How was it?
They did not like the size of my bag.
They did. Did they hit you up for a few more bucks?
They wanted 65.
Yep.
I put on a fourth sweatshirt and made it and jammed the thing in there. Nearly hurt my finger. So, but we're good. I made it here. I made the 1 hour connection.
Yep.
I had to go through customs, out, back through security. Had to grease a few wheels with the, what do you call TSA here?
Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. Same thing as
With
TSA.
those gentlemen.
Yes.
And they let me through. I made it, and I got on the WestJet flight and made it here. So I'm here. And shout out to the buses. I like them.
Yes.
They're nice and cheap. Can we take credit card, though?
We'll get there.
I had a very nice woman change $20 into Canadian for me on the bus.
Excellent.
Because I didn't have any.
She would happily take your American dollars.
Yeah, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But she didn't have to do it. And every other person on the bus had their earphones in and wanted nothing to do with me.
A little bit
I don't blame them.
passive-aggressive, yeah.
I don't blame them.
Well, we're always a couple years behind the U.S. I'll just say that.
I mean, tap to pay is, you're not that far. Like,
no, there's some things where we're there, yeah.
I did tap it, and it said no.
Oh, it works. We do all tap.
Then I had to buy a little ARC card. So I'm
My
a true Edmontonian right now.
You're an Edmontonian. We love it. All right, Ken Boehlke from SinBin Vegas. What do you think we see tonight at Rogers Place?
I think the story of the game tonight is the story of the game most of the times with an Edmonton team, but more so tonight.
Yeah.
McDavid and Draisaitl have a chance to go nuts because there is no way to match up with the forward line that they want.
Yep.
They are not going to get Eichel or Karlsson against them every single time, and none of the D pairs are truly equipped to handle those two. So if they have a great game, the Golden Knights are up against it. It's going to be difficult. But if they can find the moments, if they can rally together, if they can do enough defensively, keep their players in the center of the ice, keep those guys to the outside, I think they can do enough, generate enough turnovers, get out in transition. You got to think the Golden Knights know they need this one, right?
Yeah.
Like they've never needed one more than they need this one right now. So I think they'll find a way. I don't have a real reason why.
Hey, man, hockey. It's a weird
that's
sport.
Probably the best answer. And not only hockey, but like Golden Knights hockey is like, I don't know, they just win.
They've been doing it for 8
annoying
years.
for everyone else.
Yeah.
I kind of don't mind it, but
Winning when you cover a winning team, it's way more fun
it's
than a
good.
losing
I
team.
get to come up here and experience your transit.
Yeah.
If they were terrible, I would have no transit stories from Edmonton.
You don't hear a lot of people saying, boy, I love the transit in Edmonton. And
Swoop Airlines, transit, I'm killing the game, right?
You know what? I've got steak bites and a couple of beers and some Pepsis for you on Monday if you want to do this again.
Let's go.
All right, Ken Boehlke from SinBin Vegas. Great stuff from him. I'll see you at the rink, all right?
I'll be there.
Awesome stuff. Hernan, let's go back inside the Oilers locker room. Can we hear from Chris Knobloch? What do you think, Nanso?
I got Kane. I can get.
Let's hear from Evander Kane. No, that works great. Let's go to Evander Kane.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're up to nothing. Obviously, we sold 2 in their building, but it's up to us to take care of home ice, and we've done a good job of that this playoff so far, and we got to act and have the mentality that 0-0.
Did you feel like there was a fair amount to dig into coming out of that win? I know you guys won the game, but
I mean, yeah, look, you're not going to have your best every single night in the playoffs. You got to find different ways to win, and some nights you might get outplayed for a good portion of the game, and at the end of the day, the win-loss column is the only thing that matters in the playoffs. So we're definitely not going to be complaining about being up 2-0, but we know we can be a lot better.
Evander, just piggybacking off of that, what's that say about the standard or the floor that's been set by this group when you guys don't have your best game and you still beat a very formidable Boston?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had a huge performance from Picks, and that obviously helped. And we got some good goal scoring up and down our lineup, and we were able to score enough goals to win. At the same time, we know we can be a lot better, a lot more dominant throughout the course of the game, and I think we're excited to get back in front of our home fans and have the energy in the building and try to overwhelm them.
Are you up against human nature a little bit? Like you have to manufacture the desperation that's going to come naturally to them?
I mean, not really. I mean, look, we know teams can come back. We've come back before. Vegas is a really good team, and you don't want to give teams opportunities to get themselves back into a game or a series. So, like I said, our mindset is at 0-0, and it's incredibly important to take care of home ice.
What do you make of your goaltending situation coming into this year?
I mean, I've said it from the get-go in past interviews. We have confidence in both guys, and both guys have given us great performances all year long, and whoever's in the net, we have all the confidence in the world.
You've been having some fun with your entrances to games. Anything special in store tonight, like a Cybertruck or something?
There'll be something new. There'll be something new, yeah. It'll be fun.
How's the reaction been?
It's been great. I mean, we're on a roll. I've done little things like that throughout the course of my tenure here in Edmonton, and the boys seem to love it, so we'll keep it going.
How did Brownie become a part of that? Did you have to take applications?
No, he was just, I saw him on the sidewalk walking to the rink. I said, Brownie, hop in, so he hopped in, and he hopped in, and off we went.
Is it a Prius just to be different?
No. We'll keep. It'll be fun. It'll be good. He'll like it.
There's Evander Kane speaking to the media prior to the game. Look at us. Look what I came back with. Wow. We've got Shawn, Belle, Reid, Wilkins, and we're live on location at the Canadian Icehouse here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Cass will be stopping by in a little bit for Game Changers. All right, boys. How are we feeling going into Game 3 here with the Oilers up 2-0? Who wants to take it? Whoever wants to. Go ahead, Reid.
Well, I think this is going to be an extremely difficult game, though I usually say that in the playoffs.
Yes, you do.
Because teams should get better with each game. I think Vegas, like the Oilers when they were down 2-0 to LA, I think Vegas completely believes they can win the series. I mean, they've got several players who have won the Stanley Cup before, over half the roster. I think it's 13 guys who have a Stanley Cup ring, other guys who have been on other teams that have been in intense playoff series. And I think they felt they were robbed in Game 2 by, maybe like the Oilers fans will say we got good goaltending. The Golden Knights will say we got to make better shots or find a rebound or tip it in. And then clearly, I'm not saying they're sitting around complaining about it, but I'm sure they feel like they were robbed in overtime of not having a power play that then allowed the Oilers to be even strength and led to the game-winning goal. They are going to get Dorofeyev back, right? Who's, what did he have, 38, 36?
35.
In the regular season, so he's an excellent player. And I think Vegas can say, okay, most of the things we did worked in Game 2. We just didn't end the game with more goals. Like I still believe what I said to you after the game, too, Tom. The Oilers are the team that needs to make more adjustments because they have to. Even if you just ignore 5-on-5, their special teams have been a disaster in the series.
True.
I mean, Jack Eichel is just standing there waiting for a passing lane to open on the power play. And obviously the Oilers' own power play hasn't been dangerous. Now, I know it's been totally different at home, so we'll see if that changes. And then now the Oilers also have the additional adjustment of not having Pickard in net. So we know it's generally been a challenging year for Skinner. I don't think all the goals he let in against Los Angeles were on him because the team wasn't defending as well then. but he's now thrown back in there against a very, very hungry team. So I expect an absolute tilt tonight, Tom.
A tilt. Really quickly, the Oilers special teams, the power play, 27.8%. That is 6th in the NHL in the playoffs. 0% in the playoffs on the road. They're 83.3% at home. What a difference there. The PK, 59.3%. That is the worst in the playoffs in the National Hockey League. Vegas, on the other hand, 32% on the power play. That is 3rd best in the NHL. On the road, Vegas is 7th. They're 3 for 13 at 23.1%. Vegas on the PK, 4th overall in the playoffs at 83.3%, and then on the road, 75%, which is 8th best on the road among all the teams in the postseason. Bellsy, we have Cass standing by, but your thoughts, because I know you guys need to get a bite.
Yeah, no, that's all good. To me, I just think it's a very pivotal game, and it's pivotal for multiple reasons, and Reid has kind of alluded to a few of them, and the very first one you can think of right off the top of your head is the fact that Skinner's in net, and they haven't had Pickard. Pickard he's been good. I mean, he's not letting in tons of softballs. He's made the saves when he's had to, and he's been adequate in net. And to me, the Oilers play a different style when he's in net. I don't know what it is or why or what it looks like, but when he's in net, they just play a little bit different. And now having him come out of the series, well, what does Skinner look like? Is he the goaltender we've seen all year? Has he been able to reset? Is he, from a mental standpoint, is he in a better spot? To me, it's very pivotal because of goaltending. If you lose this game, maybe you need to rush back Pickard depending on how he plays. If you win this game, well, maybe you can give him a little bit more opportunity, and maybe Skinner plays really well, and now you're in a situation like you were last season where now you've got 2 goaltenders that can help you get, to where you want to go. So I think it's very, very pivotal today's game.
That's a good problem to have, 2 goalies that you can lean on. Okay, boys, you need to fuel up before the game. Have a bite to eat. What did you order, Bellsy?
Steak bites.
And what did you order, Reid?
Salt and pepper chicken wings.
Delicious. I will see you guys at the rink. Thank you for stopping by. And we'll also catch you guys on the postgame show, too.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tom.
You guys look very, very dapper today. Thank you, boys. There you go. Reid Wilkins and Shawn Belle here at the Canadian Icehouse as we get you set for the Oilers and the Golden Knights. Matt Kassian is standing by. Let me readjust the camera, get to my spot. Nancito, you got anything before we bring in Cass for Game Changers?
Nope. Cass is locked and loaded, ready to go. I'm sure he's looking at the nasty chat too, and just smiling.
Is he? Is there something hilarious happening in the nasty chat? I haven't had a chance to check. Let's welcome in our game analyst, Matt Kassian, as we get you set for tonight's action. Hello, Cass. How are you doing? Did we get everything sorted out? I saw you say you were getting a new internet provider today. Did we get that?
Yeah. I guess we'll see. We'll see how the connection holds up, won't we? And we'll see how the sound is too. So a couple things in flux at the Cassian household. We are sorting out, but we'll get there. We will get there. So just bear with us as we're tweaking things over here. But hopefully the connection is good. So we will see, Tom. I'm excited for this one. Excited to listen from Bellsy and Reader, and it's a good night.
Cass, what would you order if you were here right now at Icehouse?
I'd probably go with the donair tonight. I think I'd go with the donair. Like a little smelly, a little messy, but pretty delicious.
Well, there's a lot of these available for you. These are the wet naps that are great, so you'd be okay and be ready to go in a suit at the rink if you were here. I'm not going to lie to you, I love these things. These are fantastic. They're game changers. As we get into game changers with our game analyst, Matt Kassian, brought to you as always by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, top consistent producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He is community driven and understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. So check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Number 1, Cass, The Muzz.
The Muzz. Well, you guys were just talking about Stuart Skinner, and well, how can we not talk about Stuart Skinner having to step in? Calvin Pickard being banged up, out of the lineup, not ready to go. Stuart Skinner stepping back in. One of the an interesting scenario, I'm sure, for a lot of Oilers fans, where they don't feel that confident with Stuart Skinner stepping back in. I would say it's a different team than the Edmonton Oilers that started the playoffs against the LA Kings. With the first 2 games, Skinner, he wasn't great. I actually didn't think he was horrible. I thought the team in front of him was just absolutely atrocious. Now you have a team that is playing much, much better in terms of limiting some of those grade A's in front of them, and some opportunity here for Stuart Skinner to regain the net, to take back the crease, to reestablish himself. The adrenaline's going to be pumping. It's a big moment for him, Tom, and we have to see if he rises to the occasion.
Okay, the question of the night was in regard to Steu Skinner, Cass, and the Latino Heat threw it out there. He's like, what's your level of confidence in Skinner on a level of 1 to 10? What would you say, Cass, your level of confidence is for Steu Skinner tonight?
I'm like at 7.5. Like, I feel pretty confident, but I'm not all the way confident. He still has to show us a little bit more than he did earlier in the playoffs, but I feel pretty good into it. I don't think there's a reason that people should be freaking out about this one right now.
All right, there you go. Cass is feeling good about Steu Skinner. Point number 1 on Game Changers, the Muzz. Steu Skinner making his return to action. Hasn't played since Game 2 against LA back in the first round. Let's go to point number 2 on Game Changers tonight. The start, Cass.
We haven't really seen this team against the Vegas Golden Knights take too much of a lead into a game and carry it through a game. It would be really nice to get that first one today, to have that solid start, to come out and come out swinging. Not that they played poorly at the start of games, but it would be nice to get a little bit more, and it would be nice to have them take a lead and play in control for once. So, Tom, I am really looking forward here to see if the Edmonton Oilers, if they can step out of the gate and bring some heat and some mojo and some juice off the start, Tom. That start of the game tonight, getting that first goal, forcing Vegas to play on their heels, I think would be incredibly important. We don't want to see them have to play from behind yet again, from how long we've seen them, do that. It feels like every single game they have been. So, Tom, here's to getting a good start, getting in control of the game early on, and just carrying it through.
It almost feels like the Oilers, whenever they spot a team a lead, they've done it 6 times in a row here and won, obviously, but that's playing with fire, isn't it? Like, at some point, the luck is going to run out.
Yeah. It has to. It's not something you can sustain and you can do, and you definitely don't want to be doing it throughout the whole playoffs. Now, it's unbelievable that they've been able to come back. It's great that they have. It's been fun to watch. It's good that the team has the attitude and the demeanor of, no matter what the score is, we can find our way back into this, right? Mentally, that's a good place to be, but you don't want to rely on that. Like, it still is a better place to be playing with the lead. It's from a line deployment and a time on ice for players like McDavid and Draisaitl, to your defensemen and how you're utilizing them, to what you're asking of your goalie. Like, it all gets a little bit harder when you're trying to play catch up. And at some point, you're going to run into either a goalie or a team that's able to lock it down in that scenario. So just not something you want to do over and over again.
All right, we got some responses to the question of the night from the nasty chat. I'm going to go to that. We've got Zedmo says 6 out of 10. Easy E, 6.11 out of 10. 6.11 being his goals against average this postseason. Skinner's so far. Quaddy says 6 to 6.5 out of 10 is how much confidence he has in Steu Skinner tonight. That is the question of the night. How much confidence on a level of 1 to 10 do you have in Stuart Skinner? This is Game Changers with our game analyst, Matt Kassian. Game Changers, as always, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Point number 1 was the Muzz. Point number 2, the start. Point number 3, Cass, the discipline.
Stay out of the box. There is, you guys and Reid and Belle's already talked about, their penalty kill is atrocious. And we've seen it during the regular season where it went through really poor stretches, and then all of a sudden it'd be really, really good for a little while. hasn't turned that really, really good corner yet to where anytime they take a penalty, you're not feeling that comfortable. And you shouldn't feel that comfortable because they've been bleeding goals. They've been leaky. They've been allowing seam passes all day long right in front of their crease to the back door, which you can't expect goaltenders, whether it's Pickard, he wasn't saving them, or Stuart Skinner, he won't save them either. You let those through. Like that's a fair expectation, is that, yeah, when you have backdoor one-timers, cross crease, when you're penalty killing, really hard for the goalies to make a save. And they've just let that continue to happen. And it's one of those situations. It feels kind of odd because it's like they get a good minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they get through a good chunk of the penalty kill, and you're like, okay, they're good. And then all of a sudden they just crumble and break, and 2 or 3 guys make a mistake, and it's in the back of their net. So discipline becomes just that much more important. You can't be continuing to take high-sticking penalties for 4 minutes early in hockey games against the Vegas Golden Knights. And I know, you know, they're not all your fault and things happen, and I understand that, but from a discipline standpoint, this group has to find a way, Tom, to stay out of the box. They've been much better than the Vegas Golden Knights 5-on-5. That penalty kill still is the area so far in this series. There hasn't burned them in that they've lost the game, but it's made things much more difficult and challenging for them. So really important, I think, today, especially coming back to home ice where they have been a little bit better on special teams. Overall, you hope your power play is better now that you're back home, but why risk it with your penalty kill? Just play more discipline.
The power play 0 for 5 so far in this series. The PK just 4 for 7. Definitely not good enough. I got a couple more responses to what we think of Steu Skinner and the confidence people have in him on a scale of 1 to 10. That is the question of the night. There was 6 out of 10 from Sheldon, and then R. Lemke says 9.5 out of 10. Go Steu. Chief Andy says 5.74 out of 10. Matt Hyman with a 10 out of 10 and a winky face. And then Simple 101 is at a 7, he says. About a 7. T-Man a 5. Ronnie Oceanfront 8.8. Reflection says, for me, it's a 7. All right. Keep those texts coming in. You can get into the nasty chat, of course, to the inbox, 780-218-9999. Matt Kassian with us. Hernan Salas back at ESD Global HQ. We're live on location at the Canadian Icehouse in Ice District. Okay, Cass, I saw this text come in. It's from Ken. It goes into point number 3, which was discipline. It says, was your Vegas guest, Ken Boehlke from SinBin Vegas, playful when he said he believes Waugh was actually going for the puck with the cross-check to Frederick's face? I sure hope so, but wouldn't be surprised if he actually meant it. Like all lying, cheating Golden Knights supporters, no sympathy. All right, the discipline for Nicholas Waugh was a $7,850 fine and 50 cents, I think it was, something like that. And then no discipline for Victor Arvidsson, and the can opener that wasn't called. What do you think of the fallout of that whole scenario with both guys?
It kind of feels like the just giving him a fine is like a makeup for Vegas, so they're not too mad about the can opener being missed.
Oh,
doesn't it feel kind of like that? Like it feels like they're just being like, oh, hey, it's okay. We know we missed one, so we got you here. We'll kind of even this out a little bit. I don't know how that's not one game. Like, I don't know how you could make any kind of argument like, oh, he was going for the puck. Like, I mean, you could make an argument, oh, he meant to push him in the chest. Like he was trying to cross-check him lower and it got away from him. That's the only argument. You can't argue that he was trying to go for the puck in that. It's just a ridiculous argument to say that. Ridiculous that it wasn't one game. I get that you don't want to make it 2 games, 3 games in the playoffs. Okay. But man alive. I don't know how you could. I don't know what you have to go through in your own brain and the gymnastics you have to do to be like, oh, he was just trying to get the puck there. Like, yeah, oh, he's just trying to get the puck.
Sure.
He's trying to get the puck by taking his head off so that he's dead, and then you can take the puck away. Like that, just ridiculous.
All right, let's get Nanso in here. Hernan, what do you got for Cass tonight?
Yeah, Cass, I'm with you. Give me a second, though.
Are you eating food right now?
He's eating.
No,
Are you having a snack?
No. Hey, the boys are eating. I was like, I'm going to snack on something.
Yeah, but they put in their 6 minutes on the air.
Cass, I'm with you, man. Like, I don't think he was trying to cross-check the puck. I think that's kind of silly. But nonetheless, Cass, when you look at the game, it seems like no one really wants to commit that the Oilers can win this game or kind of play it. There's like a nervous, and Vegas is going to bring it all. They're going to want redemption for the missed call on McNabb, who will miss the game. Oh, where do you go with that? Like, the Oilers are still a very good team, and I think the positive is in Game 2 they weren't at their best, and they still won.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is a big positive. Game 2, you weren't at your best. You still won. And from an Oilers standpoint, and even from a Vegas standpoint, every game you're trying to move on here, right? It's, you're building momentum. And I think for the Edmonton Oilers, you have it more in that, and as you mentioned, they didn't play great and they still found a way to win. Now, Vegas is going to look at that and say, hey, we should have won. We play the same way. Chances are we're going to win again. Edmonton is going to look at it and say, hey, we played crappy. We're not crappy, but like we didn't execute how we wanted to execute, and we still found a way to win, and we squeaked it out. Now let's just get back to being even better, and they can't play with us. You know, we were at close to our best Game 1. We controlled it. We weren't very good in Game 2. They controlled it. We found a way to win. Game 3, if they're at their best and we're at their best, we're going to be better than them. So I think you're kind of trying to separate a game to game a little bit from each team, but you're kind of going through the mental rigors of self-talk, of just preparing yourself and framing the games in the way that's going to give you the best opportunity to mentally just be in a good state heading into this game tonight.
Yeah, it's and we got to keep in mind the Oilers had a lot of good looks. I know 2 goals on Hill, you'd want those back, but we forget too that the Oilers didn't capitalize on a 5-minute power play, right? Like they had their opportunities too, despite being outplayed and all that. So yeah, I'm a little curious of there's a little bit of trepidation here to go with the Oilers with the win at home, and I think that crowd's going to be going, boys. I think they're going to feed off it. I think Stuart Skinner back in net. The boys are going to want to play sound defensively, help him out as well, and just everything's on a positive note, right? Because you give up that first goal against early, guys. You know what the narrative is going to be, right?
It's going to be all about Stuart Skinner. That's going to be the narrative, at least from the fans.
I want to read a text. I'm glad we're on this because a bunch of texts have come in regard to Steu Skinner and this topic. Skinner starting, as everyone knows. Janias says, Janias here, yes. Mark my words, with Steu in net, well, this is the turning point for Vegas if Vegas were to beat the Oilers in this series. Vegas scored many goals and less shots on Skinner a couple of years back. Nothing has changed with his network since that series loss. What would you say to Janias, Cass?
Stuart Skinner got you to 1 goal away from the Stanley Cup. So, I mean, and we're thinking about network. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to worry about Stuart Skinner tonight until he gives me something to worry about. I'll just leave it at that. Like, until he starts letting in softies, then we'll start to worry about it. I would just say if he lets in and it's on the penalty kill and it's like the cross crease backdoor one-timer, don't freak out because Pickard let a whole bunch of those in. Right? Like Pickard let a whole bunch of those in. Now, I think to have a fair expectation of Stuart Skinner and to say that, hey, Pickard played really well in the second period. Pickard played really well in the third, made some key saves. And to say, hey, we need Stuart Skinner to do that, I think that's fair. And if he doesn't, it will be fair to critique him and to say, hey, if Calvin Pickard's ready to go, he needs to go back in. That's absolutely fine.
All right. At the other end of the rink, Adin Hill, he's had his struggles. We know that. That's been well documented. Cass, I'm trying to remember, if not, correct me, but, Belze was on here right before you hopped on. He goes, for some reason, I think the Oilers play different in front of Calvin Pickard as opposed to Steu Skinner. I don't really buy into that, to be honest with you. Where do you stand on that one?
I don't either. I don't buy into that at all, actually. I think it's a symptom of the Oilers just didn't play well the first 2 games. And it wouldn't have mattered if Calvin Pickard, of the LA series, it wouldn't have mattered if Calvin Pickard was in net. They wouldn't have. Like, they would have still lost and lost significantly. So I don't pin them on that. I don't think during the season we saw them play different in front of Pickard than Skinner. I don't think there's a confidence issue between the two of them. I think they're confident with both goalies. I think it was just the team didn't play well. And some nights they don't play well. That's the reality of having a long season in playoffs, is you're not going to be at your best every single game. So no, I don't like that argument in that point, because I just don't think it's true.
Norman at Combine texting in. Norman at Combine says, hello with discipline. Run these fools out of the building. I also had a great chat today with a former Oiler outside the rink, and I'm not going to say who it was, but he basically called the Golden Knights fake tough. You think there's something there, Cass?
Fake tough? Yeah, I mean, it's not. They're an aggressive team that'll try to hit you, but it's not like they're a scary team. It's not like, yes, they have, the Pietrangelo, the Axeman, as it were. Like, you have some guys that'll play a little bit dirty, but they're not a team where you're just looking over your shoulder every 5 seconds to see if someone's going to hit you from behind. Like, they're not that type of team. So I don't know. I don't know if I would call them fake tough, but I don't think they're tough in that they're scary, intimidating tough. Like, I don't get that feel from them. Now, maybe there's some inside information there. I don't know. Depends on who it was. I'd be interested to ask. I know you're not going to say, and I don't expect you to, but I'm curious who said that and what their take on that is.
I text you, and he also brought up a bunch of individual players on the Golden Knights that he thought were phony when it came to their toughness, if you will. So we can have that conversation off the air for sure. All right, boys, do the Oilers get over this hump of allowing the first goal and having to claw their way back? And how do they harness this energy, Cass?
For the Oilers to harness this energy, I think you just have to be in the moment, enjoy the moment. I mean, this is where you want it to be in this series. Coming into it is win 2 games in Vegas, come back home, feel the crowd's momentum, the energy, the excitement, because it's going to be buzzing, it's going to be noisy, and that gets back to that, wanting to have a good start tonight and how important that first goal is, because if you score first, like, that building is going to be absolutely rocking and a blast to be in. So I think it's harnessing that, but not having that overcome you, right? Like, not having it take up so much space mentally that you're squeezing the stick, you're not doing what you need to do. You have to find a way to just let it lift you up, but not obsess over it.
Okay, I text you guys in our chat who that Oiler was that mentioned the phony fake tough of the Golden Knights. Without revealing who it was, do you think that person has a legitimate concept of it, and what would you say to that now without giving it away?
Without giving it away, yeah, probably. I mean, it's an interesting take. I think I think if you looked at some of the specific players, you might have some space to agree. I might have some space to agree with some of the guys specifically to say, okay, that guy, he's not actually really scaring anybody, like when he might try to play that way.
He mentioned Mark Stone.
Yes. Well, Stoney, yes.
And you're buddies with Stone.
I'm buddies with Stoney. Stoney's not, it's not like he's soft, but he's not tough. Like, Stoney's not scaring anybody. Pietrangelo, it might be dirty, but I don't think he's like tough, scary, and a lot of those guys aren't. So maybe there's something there. But I don't know, and I guess maybe this would be more where I would disagree with it, I guess, and respectfully disagree. Is I don't think they're trying to intimidate Edmonton from that physical standpoint. Like, they're just like, oh, we're going to run you over, we're going to be mean, and you're going to crumple. It doesn't feel, at least so far, they haven't come across to me as trying to play that way. But overall, through a 7-game series, if there's a lot of head-to-head, maybe there's something there. Some of the individuals on that team, maybe, I wouldn't say at that full pretender, but they're not scary individuals to play against.
Nanso, what do you think of that from what information you have now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd take his word for it, for sure. But again, I mean, when I saw the name, I just smiled because he's one guy that would get it. Do you know what I mean? He played in a lot of those battles. So.
Yeah, and he climbed to the tippy top, so he kind of knows, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. Wanted to bounce it off of you. Cass, your mic sounded better. I know it's a work in progress. That's good. It for those out there like, what the heck's going on? He has like a pro mic. It's just the settings have been wonky, and you're getting that connection sorted out. It sounded way better today. I think it did.
I think I fixed it on our end. I think I have your volume perfect for what it is now, because I think I lowered it too much, and then I brought it back up. So then I had to listen off air and make sure it wasn't like, killing everybody's ears. So I think I got it at a good level now. So we should be good for post.
And Cass, if it does, if it doesn't work, just beat it up like you did in real hockey.
Just hit it. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like it's a pro mic too. So I'm like, I don't know what, and it's been fine for so long, and then all of a sudden it started giving issues, and then the internet. And I checked. It was throughout the whole neighborhood. We checked it on a neighborhood group because my wife's part of that. Like I'm not on Facebook, but she's on Facebook, and she checked in a neighborhood group, and it's like there's multiple people that were having issues. But so far tonight, it seems like it's held up okay. So
yes, absolutely.
Maybe we're in the clear. Maybe we will see.
It's worked well, and knock on wood. Cass, great stuff. We'll catch up with you on the post-game show, all right?
Sounds good.
There's our game analyst, Matt Kassian, with Game Changers, brought to you as always by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting now with the agency. Oh, did you see Belle left me hanging there? Unbelievable. That's my co-host and friend. What a jerk move. Well, good turnout here tonight at the Icehouse. Busy. Cal in the park said, I couldn't get a reservation, but I'm listening and watching. Cal, thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry you couldn't be down here. I know it's super busy down here, and people are having good time, good mood. Oh, man, we got some oil, like what do you call them? Like rig worker costumes with the hat, the helmets, and the coveralls. People, actually, there's a really nice Oilers hat here. It just says Edmonton Oilers in all block letters. It's a pro fit hat with the matching jacket. I like that. And the guy's got his glasses on. I love it. It's a good look. Lots of orange and blue. So as anticipated, I have yet to see a Golden Knights anything. Like not a single Golden Knights anything so far.
Yeah, today I went for a run around noon, Tom, and it was great just being around downtown, down by the river valley. And so many Oiler jerseys, like T-shirts, sweaters, jerseys. Everybody just out for a stroll or running some errands, whatever it is. Everybody had their Oiler gear on. I thought it was pretty cool. I can only imagine what the vibe is around where you're at right now. It's a Saturday night. Weather's pretty decent, and just behave yourselves, please.
No Oilers on Oilers violence, please, and thank you. That's all. Please
no
don't.
Brother beating up brother like it happened in the Vegas.
Oh,
in the
that
Vegas
video. Awful. And those guys were like in their late 40s, 50s, and they're just wailing on it. It was stupid. Man.
That's Vegas.
Don't do that. Be better. You're better. Touch a class. Let's go to VR Montenegro, who celebrated his birthday the other night, watching Game 2 down at Hudson's Bourbon Street. We had a great time. VR Montenegro says Skinner will put his body in overdrive. I will give it a 9.95 out of 10 confidence level. And then he sent in a picture of Spunkadelic 9.95, and that looks like it's part of the Ninja Turtles 2 movie. Great reference, Mike. I love that very, very much. All right, really quick out-of-town scoring update. It is the Canes and the Caps in Carolina in the third period. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. The Canes lead Washington 3-0. They're out shooting the Caps 25-18, and they've got the puck in Washington zone. So it looks like Bronco Nick and his smothering play of the Carolina Hurricanes that he appreciates very much is being very effective tonight and could and very well lead to a 2-1 series lead for Carolina. So there's your out-of-town scoring update. The other game, of course, here in Edmonton, the Oilers and Golden Knights getting going in about 35 minutes or so. All right, Nancito, we have some more audio from the locker room and the press conference room. Who are we going to go to next?
Go to the head coach, Chris Knobloch. Here he is.
Stuart Skinner has informed us that he is starting. Can you provide a brief update on Calvin Pickard and then what you're looking for from Skinner tonight?
Calvin Pickard's day-to-day. Stuart Skinner's our starting goalie tonight, and we're expecting Skins to come in and deliver what he's done before. And, he was in this situation last year after having a little break in the Vancouver series and come back and was a really solid goaltender throughout that series against Vancouver and throughout the rest of the playoffs. So I think he's ready, and we're going to go from that.
Vegas took it to you guys in large stretches of that game. What are you looking for from your team collectively to elevate your performance? Because you're going to get even a more desperate one from them tonight.
Absolutely. We know what they're playing for and how desperate they're going to be, and they're going to come out strong, and they're probably feeling pretty good about their game the other night. For our guys, we just want to play with a little more speed, a little more jump, a little playing off your instincts. And we've done the pre-scout on Vegas. We know what their team's about, where their strengths are, and how we had to counter. But I think we're a little bit too worried about those things and not playing on instincts, because every play is a little bit different. I think it's important for us to be skating, playing a little bit faster.
This one's from Cam, just about the goaltending depth. Sometimes there's some distance between, one guy and the other guy, but it seems you're pretty confident in both, and how that speaks to the depth that you have at the position.
Very fortunate. We've got two goalies we have a lot of confidence in, and for Picks to go on this run throughout the playoffs without a loss is really remarkable, and we're just riding the hot hand. Unfortunately, he's not available for us right now. Fortunately, we've got a great backup option, and when I say backup, our starter for all the year, and he's ready to go, and we're very lucky to have two quality goaltenders throughout the year and giving us quality starts throughout the year. So, and a goalie that's been under this situation before. It's not that he's a backup, not sure coming in. It's going to be, stress, nerves, that kind of thing. We know he can handle that.
On further review, what did the data tell you about your power play? Where you think it's at, and did you feel you were close, or was there quite a ways for improvement there?
I think we can get a little bit better everywhere. The entries could be a little bit cleaner, so we have a little more offensive zone time. I think in the offensive zone we had some good opportunities. Bouchard had some good shots, but I don't think we had our second and third opportunities, and probably getting a little more traffic around the net, because that's usually what happens is you need to muck it up a little bit. And so, I don't think we need to change anything too drastically, but I think we can get a little bit better in certain areas.
Can you maybe just discuss the killer instinct that you'd like to bring into a game like tonight? You can't end the series tonight. They're probably going to be fairly desperate, but is there a way to dictate tonight and not let them be the ones where the desperation wins the day?
It's going to come down to battles and finishing your opportunities, those kind of things. That they're going to come out hard, and that's on their forecheck, finishing their checks. And for us, I think it's just about playing fast, and that's one, we're skating, but also more importantly is just how quickly we're moving that puck. We're holding on to it. We're allowing them to get into position, getting set up. We just got to play fast, get them out of their structure, so then we can just play hockey.
Getting his team ready for game number 3 between the Oilers and the Golden Knights. What'd you think of what he had to say there, Hernan?
Yeah, he's...
he doesn't give you much.
He doesn't give you much. It's pretty much the same all the time. And for some people I know on the Nats chat and texting in, this is not a coaching decision on the goaltending. Calvin Pickard is hurt.
He's hurt.
Okay, so this isn't the Oilers management and coaches saying we're going to Skinner just for the hell of it. So Calvin Pickard is day to day. If you want to look at the play, it's all over Twitter. I think Hurdle falling on his leg there, Tom, and you saw him kind of shake it off in game 2, and he stayed in and all that.
You can see him kind of leaning down on it and feeling it out too, right?
So it's going to be interesting to see what his status is after today and going into game 4 as well. But it's funny because with the question, how confident are you in Stuart Skinner tonight? There's no middle ground. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's a few, but it's people are just in full panic mode right now. Other people are like, no, we're rolling with Stu. We're going to give him all the confidence in the world and all that. And there's a few in there that are like at a 6 or at a 5, which is fair. And I think anything's fair, Tom. I mean, Stuart Skinner, after mid-January has not been very good. He hasn't been able to lock it down, to make the big save like Calvin Pickard has.
Yeah,
and I think that's why it's going to be interesting. Again, Pickard's, he gave up 4 goals last game, but we all remember him for the 4 or 5 big saves he made when it was tied and in overtime. And that's what you need from Skinner. I don't think anyone's asking for a shutout, even though it'd be nice, or 1 goal, 2 goal, whatever it is. Just make that save when late in the game, when your team needs it, when you're tied, when you're up a goal, when you're down a goal, whatever it is. And I think that's what's important for Stuart Skinner. And this guy's a confident guy. I mean, you know him a little bit more than most of us here, Tom, and he's a positive guy. He doesn't dwell on the negativity. So I think that might help him tonight.
It's going to have to. I mean, he's been in this situation before, and as he tells us, he's always thankful and appreciates the lesson. He certainly has had a rough lesson and a harsh lesson so far this postseason. Now it's up to him to utilize the lesson learned and make good. We'll see. I mean, listen, yes, he does have confidence. Yes, he has talked about how he's worked on the mental side of his game, but like anybody, it fluctuates confidence, and you can get inside your own head no matter how much you train yourself and prepare yourself, and he's not immune to that. So we'll see. I mean, he's had enough time to sit and watch Calvin Pickard, and quite frankly, if you're watching Calvin Pickard have success, you should be able to think to yourself, well, I can do that. Why can't I do that? I've done it before. Let's go do it. I just need my chance. Well, today's his chance. So let's see if he can take advantage of it, as it is Stuart Skinner's net. Adin Hill at the other end of the rink. Adin Hill has not been particularly great. If that helps some Oilers fans who are a little bit worried about Steu Skinner. And just to reiterate, like Chris Knobloch said, Calvin Pickard is day-to-day with an injury. Lower body is all we know. Okay. We do need to get to this. It is the Game Day Odds Check, brought to you by our friends over at Play Alberta. Great new partnership with Play Alberta, presenting sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app, with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues like the NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, you name it. You're not just playing for fun. You're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit today with promo code YEG50 and get an EST exclusive $50 bet free to get started. So YEG50, YEG, all caps 50, and get an EST exclusive $50 free bet to get you started. The money line for this game, courtesy of Play Alberta. Well, when I set it and checked it today, it was Edmonton at -133, Vegas at +100. The puck line had Edmonton at +162, Vegas at -278. I'm going to double check that, see if the line has moved. I don't know if it can move that close to the game. I'm sure it must be able to. But let's do a quick odds check from Play Alberta. Money line, -133 for the Oilers, still +100 for the Vegas Golden Knights, and then the puck line -278 for Vegas and +162 for the Oil. Over/under set at 6.5. And so I said over last game. It did happen. What do you think happens tonight on the over/under at 6.5?
I'm gonna keep rolling with the under, man. There's gonna be one game this series that's gonna be well, I guess the first one was technically, yeah. But I think this one is going to be low scoring. I think both teams, if you look at it, Vegas in game 1, Oilers in game 2, want to lock this thing down. They don't want to go toe-to-toe exchanging goals. So I think Adin Hill obviously wants to be better, needs to be better. And I think Stuart Skinner's going to want to, prove a lot of people wrong. And he's going to want to, show the boys that he can get it done as well, because it's been Pickard's net for the last 6 games. He's 6-0. And then he's probably going to want to make Chris Knobloch's decision when Calvin Pickard's healthy as tough as possible. He doesn't want it to be just automatic picture back in, right? So I think he's going to that's why I think both goalies today are going to be a lot better. I think Skinner's going to want to prove something, and we'll see where this goes. So I'll take the under, Tommy.
Okay, I'll go over again. I think we get to 7, but I think it's going to be a 5-2 Oilers win. And Steu Skinner buckles it down. He lets in one shaky one, but then he dials it in. That's what I think is going to happen tonight.
Oh,
so
boy.
I'm going on under and a 5-2 Oilers, or I'm going over with a 5-2 Oilers win.
Just no goals in the first 5 minutes or on the first 3.
Oh, there will be one.
Please,
yeah,
please.
I know we don't want one as a collective here, but I think there will be one. And here we go again, another one of these.
It's people are just going to lose it. Like the X machine will explode if that happens.
Well, Skinner's in the crosshairs no matter what. So
yeah.
Okay, let's get to some text. 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat
quickly,
as well.
Tom,
we have a few more minutes. Yes, quickly. What do you got?
Elliot Friedman just tweeted out McNabb is taking warm-ups for Vegas.
Whoa. Interesting. Okay. We will confirm if he is good to go by the end of the show. So that is an interesting development. Braden McNabb taking warm-up. We didn't anticipate him playing. This is from Jesse Granger. It says McNabb is paired up with Theodore on line rushes, so he might be good to go here. How much does that change things, Nanso?
Well, I think, Ken said he was the most important guy on the decor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a hell of a defenseman, stay at home, tough, big. I think it's a big bonus for them if he can remain in the lineup. I mean, nothing against Korczak, because I thought Korczak had a pretty good game one. But you can't get the experience and the toughness McNabb has. So I think that's great news for the Vegas Golden Knights and their fans if McNabb can't play. Now, there's a risk involved too, Tom. Because a warm-up is a warm-up, and then in the game when you're getting hit and everybody's coming at you, it's a little bit different, and who knows if he gets injured again or re-aggravates whatever's ailing him. So it's risky always, and that's with any defenseman that's coming back as quick as he is, but I think it's interesting development for sure, and by all accounts, sounds like you just said that he's going to be in tonight.
They'll shoot him up with something to make sure that pain goes away. The discomfort might be there, but if they can utilize him, and if he is that vital, like Ken and you were just alluding to the Vegas Golden Knights' success, especially on the back end, they need him in there. So we've got...
Dusty says on the nasty chat, McNabb is still alive. By the way, Knights fans were talking, Arvidsson killed him.
Look out for that 5'8" guy from Sweden. Yeah. Well played, Dusty. All right, let's get to your starting lineups one more time. Starting lineups, as always, brought to you by Southport Chev. Drive a little and save a lot at Southport Chev. You can also check them out, www.southportchev.com. For the Oilers, McDavid with Draisaitl and Perry, Nugent-Hopkins with Kane and Hyman, Henrique between Frederick and Brown, Janmark centering Podkolzin and Arvidsson on defense, Nurse with Bouchard, Wallman with Klingberg, Kulak with Emerson. As for Vegas, with McNabb back in there, you've got Eichel between Barbashev and Stone, Tomas Hertl with Pavel Dorofeev, who makes his first appearance in this series, and Victor Olofsson on the other side of that line. You've got William Karlsson with Brett Howden and Riley Smith, and then Nick Waugh, who was fined, I have the approximate amount, $7,812.50. For his cross-check on Trent Frederick. Yeah, I have the press release that the NHL sent us. He'll be flanked by Tanner Pearson and Keegan Colasar. On defense for the Golden Knights, the aforementioned Braden McNabb with Shea Theodore, Nick Hague with Alex Pietrangelo, Noah Hannafin with Zach Whitecloud. That takes us to your goaltending matchup for tonight. 26-year-old Steu Skinner gets the nod, 0-2 this postseason, 6'11" goals against average. .810 save percentage in the two games he played in that first round series against LA. And then lifetime versus the Golden Knights. He's faced them 6 times in the postseason thus far in his career. A 2-4 record with a .397 goals against average and an .875 save percentage in those 6 games. And then at the other end of the rink, 28-year-old Aiden Hill getting the nod. He is 4-4 this playoffs with a .316 goals against average and .874 save percentage in the 8 games that he has played in 2025. And then Hill, lifetime versus the Oil in the postseason. 7 career times he's faced Edmonton. A 3-3 record, .284 GAA, .910 save percentage in those games. All right, keep those texts coming in. 99.99. And get into the nasty chat. I have a bunch of texts that I wanted to read. I see them here. Smokey the Bear says, I'm sitting at a solid 7.5 for confidence in Steu. He's proven he can win in the playoffs. We wouldn't have made it to Game 7 of the Cup Finals last year. And with the role they've been on, I think the boys will play just fine in front of him. So there you go. There's Smokey the Bear. This one says, Skinner is good when he plays with urgency, which doesn't usually happen till the third when he has to make the big saves because he let the early ones in. Dave Minnock, Dave and Twitter Mary. Oh, a nice photo. An EST hat. Twitter Mary's wearing her EST hat on a tropical beach somewhere. Looks lovely. Twitter Mary has beef, listening from Beef Island in Totola. And then Dave also adds, last night at sea, purchased the streaming package to see Steu surprise everyone tonight. That's from Twitter Mary and Dave. Good to hear from you guys. Hope you're enjoying a lovely, lovely cruise. The photos are great as well. Let's go to Spruce Grove. Corey says, how do we officially name the top line the Hart Foundation? And more importantly, how do we get Bret Hart involved? Hashtag Goilers, with my voice cracking. I don't know if Bret Hart can be associated with the Edmonton Oilers with his ties to Calgary, right? That would just be so wrong. That would be like having Michael J. Fox going down to a Flames game and supporting Calgary. Not right.
Yeah, it's he's more Calgary, so it'd be different. Did we come up for a name for that fourth line?
I thought we saw one in our group text line the other day.
Yeah.
What was it?
I think Jay sent it in. They got it on their show. You'd have to scroll back quite a bit.
I'm
here.
looking. Yeah, there's some hot texts yesterday, and rightly so.
Okay, I got it.
What is it?
2 Swedes in a pod. I like
Interesting.
Because you guys have what? The Custodians?
I had the Toxic Crusaders.
I like the...
Remember that?
Because the janitor's on the line, so like the Custodians, the maintenance crew.
The maintenance crew. The night shift. I don't know.
2 Swedes in a pod is not bad.
2 Swedes in a pod is not bad. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's fair. Let's give that one of these round of applause. I can do that. Oh, I love having the board. We figured out the board in the studio. Benny did. Very good. Very good. There's a good name for that fourth line. All right, a couple more texts before we wind things down here. Naughty Possum says 10 out of 10 on Skinner since I used my free bets on an Oilers win on Play Alberta. Thank you, Naughty Possum. Appreciate that. We've got Mark from Arizona says, hey, Tommy, great show as always. My question, who's backing up Steu tonight? And if he melts down, do they insert him or let Skinner deal with it? And no more penalties in the first 4 minutes of the game, please. Well, if Calvin Pickard is day-to-day, that means he's not dressing, and we would see Ollie Rodrigue back up Steu Skinner tonight. So Ollie Rodrigue, he has been skating. It's interesting how they work the morning skates. Like the Black Aces are here. They're practicing, but they practice on their own. And then Ollie Rodrigue's the goalie for the Black Aces, obviously.
Yeah.
But during a practice or a morning skate, Ollie Rodrigue will come on about halfway through, and then whoever the starter is just goes off, and then the backup for that night works in one net, and then Rodrigue works in the other one. So that's how they kind of do it. So Rodrigue should be backing up tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm just looking to see if any of the usual suspects put out the full lineup. Yeah, it is Rodrigue confirmed backing up. So Calvin Pickard won't dress. That tells you where he's at with his injury as well. That's a good indicator. So there you go. Maple Jed also texting in. I don't know what that means. Talking about Smeed or talking about Laddie? No, it was not Laddie. I know what you're talking about. Talking about the former Oiler I ran into in the afternoon, and we were discussing the Golden Knights, and they used the term phony tough. And it was not Laddie Schmid. It was someone else.
I saw Laddie at the on location last Friday. He still looks like he can play, Tommy.
He's in great shape. He takes care of himself. Takes very good care of himself. It was good to see Alex Hemsky as well. Who did you guys have come on that day?
We had Kelly Buckberger.
Yes, Bucky. I heard. I caught some of that.
We asked
Good old Bucky.
we asked Hammer, but I asked him. He said he was too tired. He'd do it later, but we were like, we're off soon, and then he joined Reid.
He joined Reid?
I think so.
Okay, good. He would always be tired. Guys, I'll come back later. I'm tired. And he would always kind of like slouch and like sit like this.
Yeah.
And then, that's funny too, because when I went and talked to him, he was catching up with Cass. And then he's like, hey, Tom, what's going on? I'm like, hey, Hammer, good to see you. And I'm like, oh, man, it's been busy. Crazy game yesterday. I'm tired. He's like, you're tired. I'm tired. Tried doing all of this with 2 kids and going to a draft and then to the game and then skating today. You're not even playing today. Why aren't you playing? And I was like, good point. Good point, Alish. But he was always one of those guys. I don't know. I'm too tired, you guys.
He's too tired, yeah.
He's good. He's a good dude. He's a very, very good guy. So, no, it wasn't Laddie Schmid, and no, it wasn't Alish Hemsky. All right. Nanso, final thoughts from you.
Interesting day. Started with the Stuart Skinner news. We'll see what happens, Tom. Vegas is going to bring it again. They're in a hole. They need this one, or it's lights out.
Yep.
We'll see how the Oilers respond, being up 2-0. If they can feed off the crowd. And let's go, man. It's going to be a hell of a game. Stuart Skinner on one end is a big surprise. Dorofeyev playing for the Golden Knights is a big plus. It sounds like McNabb's in as well. So let's go. Let's bring it on, man.
Vamos. Game number 3. The Oilers and the Golden Knights. Can the Oil take a stranglehold of this series with a win tonight? They're going to have 18,347 strong behind them to will them to victory, on top of the millions and millions watching in God's country, that is Edmonton and Alberta, as well as the rest of the hockey world. All eyes on the Big E here in the Ice District. Big thank you to Ken Boehlke from SinBin Vegas for hopping on, as well as Shawn, Belle, and Reid Wilkins. They will be joining us later on for the post-game show too, as will Matt Kassian. So for Cass and Reid and Belzy and Nanso, I'm Tommy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you did watch, please hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Enjoy the Oilers and Golden Knights Game 3 starting right away, and we will catch you on the post-game show. Ciao for now.